involved in the political process. A campus-wide emergency alert was sent out to protect students and staff from icy roads. The AHU men's soccer team faced the Central Methodist University Eagles in the first round of the NAIA National Tournament. It's all coming up right now on FDN News. Good evening and welcome to FDN News. I'm Sydney Fife. President Trump's trip to Fort Wayne pulled student support for both sides as his rally prior to the midterm election. FDN News' Justin Coleman has the story.
I'm sitting outside the Allen County War Memorial Coliseum where President Trump will be making an appearance tonight in support of Republican candidate for Senate Mike Braun. For the first time since 1982, the President of the United States made a stop in Fort Wayne. President Donald Trump visited Fort Wayne in support of Republican Mike Braun, who was in a tight race with Democratic candidate Joe Donnelly for a seat on Senate. The historic event drew several HU students like Ani Wetzel.
I'm here to see my president.
Thousands of people arrived at the Allen County War Memorial Coliseum in Fort Wayne to see both Braun and Trump. Lines swerved throughout the massive parking lot of the Coliseum. Inside the Coliseum, organizers sat sophomores Beth Ann Blemmel and Becca Millard right behind the president.
So we were walking in and we were going to go find a seat, and a lady with a headset actually grabbed one of the friends I was with, and she pulled us aside and she said, "How many are in your group? Have you guys found seats yet?" And we were like, "No." And she's like, "How would you like to sit right behind Trump, like while he's giving his speech?" And we were like, "What? That's awesome." It was such a great experience because it's been over 30 years since a U.S. president has come to Fort Wayne. So the fact that we got to take part in that and be involved and be able to be right behind the president was amazing.
Hundreds of law enforcement crews all over Indiana lined the ways of the president's 11-mile route from the Fort Wayne International Airport to the Coliseum. While thousands gathered in the area to support the president's arrival, almost 100 protesters occupied the corner of Coliseum and Parnell.
I want people to realize that this is not just a conservative area. I want people to know that there is a strong Democratic hold here.
HU freshman Carlos Perez participated on the protest line as a way to exercise the importance of individual votes and right to speech.
Your vote matters, and you can change how our democracy works.
The Republican support seemed to have paid off. Both Mike Braun and 3rd District Congressman Jim Banks claimed victory in the midterm election on Tuesday. In Fort Wayne, Justin Coleman, FDN News.
After Tuesday's midterm election, Republicans kept control of the Senate while Democrats regained control of the House of Representatives. Prior to the midterm elections, on November 6th, many Huntington University students felt uninformed about the candidates and where they could vote. Political science Dr. Dwight Brodegum is very passionate about the topic of voting and discusses the importance of the opportunity to vote.
Going to be tax-paying adults for the next 60, 70 years, maybe longer even. And so there are decisions being made now that are going to affect where their money is going and the choices that are going to be made on their behalf, and they need to have a voice in that.
Hearing what Dr. Brodegum had to say, we went around on campus to talk to some of the students and ask them about their plans for voting.
Probably not. I'm not following politics right now. If I were to vote, I probably wouldn't know where to go.
I am planning on voting in November, yes. I am not planning on filling out an absentee form, but I probably will have to because I don't know where I should go to vote.
In Indiana, voters have 5 days before an election to apply for an absentee ballot. On Thursday, November 15th, Huntington University sent out a campus-wide emergency alert, canceling all classes taking place before noon. Commuter students and faculty members were advised to stay off of the icy roads. Huntington County issued a winter weather warning to caution all drivers.
We're involved because buildings fall under me. IT generates the text alerts or the emergency alerts. Again, that falls under my role. So between facilities and IT, I get involved in part of that process.
The warning ended at noon, but the roads remained fairly quiet throughout the day. The weekend of November 14th through the 17th, HU's theater department put on the musical Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat that is based on the biblical story of Joseph. The story shows the different events that take place after Joseph is arrested, sold into slavery, and finally forgiven by his brothers at the end. The musical was written in the 1970s, giving the show some flair and throwing it back to the disco era. The show has little to no dialogue and mainly uses songs to tell the story.
I am a freshman and I am a technical theater and design major. We have been working on this show pretty much since the birds ended, so it's been a long run. It's been a pretty good season so far.
Performance of Joseph in the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat was not the first time it was performed on that stage. Joseph was once performed by a group of HU students in 1993. The original cast was invited to see the rendition of the musical they had performed 25 years ago. The Huntington University Theater Company has had a busy semester. 2 months before putting Joseph on stage, they wowed crowds with the horror thriller called The Birds. The Birds is inspired by a short story written by Daphne du Maurier. The play is an hour and a half long with 16 scenes. The setting is a cabin-style house in the woods. With the season of giving approaching, our friends at Forrester Radio held the second annual Forrester Radio Cares campaign. Forrester Radio is a way to help those who have a rough semester here at Huntington. Leaders with Forrester Radio choose a couple deserving students who will receive a basket full of prizes, varying from coffee mugs to tickets to a Comets game.
This giveaway is different because it's more personal. We really get to talk to just the HU students, and really for my team. Last year when we got the nominations and started going through it, it was a really just like bonding experience for all of us, and it made us all a little bit more aware of what's going on in our community and that everything isn't just happy and go lucky.
And CC Archibald received their baskets of encouragement on November 14th from station manager Emma Lehman.
Thanks to the leadership at Parkview, my career took a whole new direction. My new position required further education, but I didn't want to just get a degree. I didn't want it to be a piece of paper. I discovered the Masters of Organizational Leadership at Huntington University. Professors truly cared about me, and even the online class experience felt very personal. Huntington really helped me, and they have a variety of graduate programs. One of them could help you.
This is how we like to do it.
After winning the Crossroads League's tournament, the HU men's soccer team headed to the NAIA National Tournament in Columbia, Missouri. They faced third-ranked Central Methodist Eagles earlier this month. Coming off of the win against Spring Arbor, the Foresters, led by head coach Russ Lawson and 9 senior players, went into the game against CMU feeling confident. In an interview with FDN Sports, Coach Lawson said that his team was, quote, in the right frame of mind going up against their tough first-round matchup. The Foresters fell to the Eagles 5-1, ending their season with an 11-8-3 record and a conference title. On Sunday, September 9th, Huntington University students were chilled to the bone as they took part in the annual sand volleyball tournament sponsored by the Student Activities Board. The low temperatures of the day weren't going to keep the 11 teams of 8 from bringing their A game. Each team came up with a name and coordinating costumes for the event. The team Fruitopia reigned victorious at the end of the day. The Student Activities Board turned the Huntington University Mall into a rodeo to kick off this fall semester. Following the backyard barbecue put on by the dining commons, dozens of students participated in the apple bobbing competition, mechanical bull riding, and line dancing in front of the Student Union building. The HU Hoedown is one of many events at HU that helps celebrate the new school year and bring students together. But there was one spot that drew the largest crowd, the mechanical bull ride. HU students flocked to the attraction and created long lines. Snapchat and Instagram witnesses a bombardment of posts from the bull riding fails and falls. Classic skit won over the judges at the annual Davis Hall Follies during homecoming weekend. The skit Who's On First was performed by Andrew Bauer and Marco Evans. The original creators, Bud Abbott and Lou Costello, made the skit back in 1938. It's about 2 people discussing baseball and the different players who are on each base. It eventually turns into a big misunderstanding, frustrating each person. Bauer and Evans added Huntington references in their rendition.
Last year we had a band and we did a 1,000-foot crutch song, and that was cool. But that was a lot of bells and whistles. So we decided to simplify things, and it seemed to work out okay.
Judges awarded E.J. Hancock second place for the song she performed about her hero, Batman. The song received audience participation, filling the room with laughter, clapping, and singing along with the tune. In third place, Chandler Ring brought to the stage his own interpretation of Michael Jackson's Wanna Be Startin' Something. Huntington University celebrated homecoming in October, where students and alumni participated in different events. One alum in particular stole the spotlight. Christiana Danielle performed a set of worship songs in Zerker Auditorium. Danielle is a 2017 graduate of HU and still continues to impact the campus. Her appearance on this past season of The Voice made her a hot topic among students.
Hey, it feels so good to be back here worshiping on the J-Noise stage. I call it the J-Noise stage. Thank you so much for everybody who came out and support. Forever Forester, I love you guys.
From the campus and the community came to her show where she spoke a message of how love and value can be found in Christ. Afterward, Danielle had a line of excited and encouraging fans waiting to meet her in the MCA lobby. I'd like to welcome the Director of Occupational Therapy and from HU, Nicole Scheinman, and her therapy dog, Hope, to our show.
Hi, Sydney.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
So how long have you been bringing therapy dogs to campus?
Hope and I were hired 3 years ago to start the Occupational Therapy Assistant Program, so we've been on campus ever since.
Okay. Why do you like this kind of work? Why did you get into it?
Well, I think there can be a very special bond that comes between humans and animals, and as an occupational therapist myself, when I work with patients, particularly children, oftentimes they'll do a whole lot more for Hope than they'll want to do for me, so she can be quite the motivator. But it's kind of that unspoken bond. Hope doesn't ask questions. She's just there to be in the moment.
And where do therapy animals normally have a place?
Actually, there's quite a few places now. Hope and I have worked everywhere from a monastery to a methadone clinic. We do a lot of reading programs. We've done the local junior high Crestview reading program and the Huntington County Library Pause to Read program. So we've done a lot of hospitals, skilled nursing facilities, geriatric daycare. It's kind of limitless. She played a big role in a domestic violence shelter in Orlando. So
wow,
it's limitless.
So what are some of the known benefits that you can see from having a therapy animal around?
A lot of times they're called comfort animals because having a therapy dog can be very soothing, very calming. And as you can see, Hope is a pretty chill dog. But the repetitive motion of petting a dog, the weight of holding a dog, all of those things are very calming. But Hope can be stimulating too. So if working with a child that maybe isn't too motivated, we can take the vest off, tell her, okay, that's her release command, and she can be a rowdy, run around the room dog.
Okay, and when will you be bringing her around, perhaps for finals week?
She and some other dogs, I believe, are going to be on campus, but she's here every day with me.
Okay.
Yeah, I have the best job on campus.
Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks to the leadership at Parkview, my career took a whole new direction. My new position required further education, but I didn't want to just get a degree. I didn't want it to be a piece of paper. I discovered the Masters of Organizational Leadership at Huntington University. Professors truly cared about me, and even the online class experience felt very personal. Huntington really helped me, and they have a variety of graduate programs. One of them could help you.
This is how we like to do it.
TCB Games leveled up to the old library building in downtown Huntington. Owner Todd is looking for some new customers. A longtime gaming store in Huntington has unpacked, powered on, and is ready for college students to return. Owner Todd Nightenhelser had his gaming store on North Jefferson Street in downtown Huntington for 20 years. But this past spring, Nightenhelser leveled up and moved TCB Games into the old library building on East Park Drive. Along with saving a historic building of Huntington's past, Nightenhelser hopes the new location can lead to HU students embracing the space for clubs and even talk of opening a sandwich shop made for college-age kids. Dee's Wagon Wheel, owned by Donna DeShane, is the new espresso bar that opened in Huntington at the beginning of the school year. Native to Alaska, DeShane wanted a new journey after traveling around the United States. She eventually traveled to Huntington and spotted an empty restaurant. She decided it would make an excellent location for a coffee shop. Dee's Wagon Wheel was born and opened to the public. Why Huntington? It turns out pure luck brought her to this area.
I'll just put a map on the table, and where I point is where we're going to be. So I closed my eyes and pointed, and I landed on Indiana.
Wagon Wheel Espresso Cafe is located at 874 Klein Street in Dover Park neighborhood. Hours are Monday through Saturday from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Sunday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. This weekend's forecast is mostly cloudy with showers, high of 52 degrees and low of 34. We should be seeing some sun coming on Monday. Thank you for watching this installment of FDN News. Be sure to check us out on Twitter at FDN_news and check out our new website, forresterdigital.net. I'm Sydney Fife. Have a great night.